morning. Welcome. It's the start of the most beautiful Monday morning ever. Honestly,
Yes,
I'm just speaking it into the atmosphere. This Monday is going to be amazing.
Yes, welcome into a brand new week for Wake Up Nigeria. Now, if indeed you've been waiting for this edition, well, hey, then you've chosen the right people, the right show, the right place to help you get that special spring in your step and indeed to set your time to our clock. Thank you very much. You haven't done wrong. You've chosen the best place.
5 times a week, we set out to wake you and your family up in the most informative, educative, and sometimes hilarious ways. Now, we've actually succeeded in doing this for over 6 years now, so yeah, you can trust us. We're really good at it.
Absolutely. Let's toot our own horns. It's okay. As a matter of fact, we believe that we're good at it only because of you guys out there. Thank you very much for always choosing us.
We're not alone.
Ah, yes.
The marvelous Mary is in the kitchen.
She will be joining us in just about a bit. Don't you worry with our chef. It's going to be a fantastic experience there. You can kiss her only if you're 6 foot tall.
Wow.
If you're not, forget about it.
I hear you. All right then, but we can tell you that a marvelous meal will be prepared this Monday, as always. But before then, my name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And my name is Mazino Peel. Thank you very much for joining us for a world of entertainment certified to make sure that you guys are getting your Monday started right. How was your weekend? What did you do?
Busy.
Even in the rain?
Well, you know, it started really energetic. It started on Thursday, then Friday.
I was with you on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was exciting. It's the most fun I've had in a bit. But hey, we'll be telling you all about that maybe later on. You can stream the show live on tvcentertainment.tv and, of course, on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Yes, you can also see us live. GOTV Channel 16. You probably are doing that already. Band 49 for UHF if you choose to do so.
Yeah. Have you downloaded the app?
No, I don't.
Hopefully you have. You know. All my devices have it. Yours should as well. It's available for Android and iOS. Just make sure you send in your comments and contributions on social media at TVC Connect.
Now, let's check out what we have for you guys today. Coming up on the show today.
Personal branding. Building your personal brand is something you should really be interested in. When it comes to motivation, it's all about getting a proven track record, launching and rebranding prominent brands globally, as we have the founder of iMonet Creative Agency. He's accumulated extensive experience in creative marketing and manufacturing, and we're talking about building a strong personal brand later on.
For a fantastic performance, Tino Moody is going to be joining us, singer-songwriter. He's got a very interesting rendition of one of his pieces that he's going to be giving. So today, please join us then. It's going to be a humdinger.
And we will have an SME discussion today as well. You should stay tuned so that you can hear from Usman Daniel Paul. Now, he is also known as Mr. Excel, CEO, Genius Excel Manufacturing and Services Limited. It's going to be an interesting one. Stay close.
Welcome, Monday edition here, guys. It's after the weekend. Woke up this morning. I wasn't very happy, wasn't very sad. You know, it's kind of like in between.
Okay.
One of those mornings where life is just like...
Are you sure it's not school fees blues? First day of school. I can understand how most men feel right now. And women, because some mothers also pay tuition. So I believe it has to do with...
Well, increments, let's put it so, with the prevailing situation in Nigeria now, everything's gone up, and school fees, you cannot compromise on that one because, I mean, it's your obligation.
So it's interesting because the schools that I'm aware schools have already sent the costing with the exam results of last year. So even if they wanted to increase it, it's probably not this month you'll see it. Or this term,
it depends.
You'll probably see it later.
It depends what school, because over the holidays they sent in augmented charges. You know, school bus feeding and all of that.
Okay.
They will not tell you that they're increasing the fees, but everything else will increase. And when you put it all together, it's... But let's not talk about depressing stuff. Let's talk about what happened.
He said depressing.
Let's talk about what happened over the weekend. It was the Headies. We didn't get to experience it here in Nigeria once again.
Yesterday.
I don't know if it's a Nigerian event anymore. You know, but
we should not deceive ourselves. It is no longer a Nigerian event.
It's taking Nigeria to the world.
Please, please don't even give me that.
Let's
taking
take Nigeria to the world. We're
Why
exporting our greatness?
Why aren't we having the Grammys in Nigeria? Like, it's ridiculous. Let's not deceive ourselves. I excused it the first year But at this point, it's becoming really silly. I do not care if that's where the organizer lives. It's silly. This is a Nigerian award, an African award. If you don't want to do it in Nigeria, you can do it in some other African country. But taking it outside the continent, seriously?
Mary is vexed. Absolutely vexed.
Well, I just feel like over the years, they did many, many editions here in Nigeria.
Oh, so they should now take it abroad?
I
Because
feel
they've
like
done so many in
it's still
Nigeria.
all in the vein of taking our culture.
Which culture?
No, Mary, sorry, Titi will excuse everybody for everything. See,
God.
like our mother hen here, so
Why
yeah,
now?
Which culture?
it's okay. It's not a problem.
See, until the Grammys start being done in
Africa.
India,
Let's
let's
just say
not
Africa.
forget, most of the views
in
and
India,
the... No,
Because
Titi,
there's a lot of
the
people who
Asian market is the biggest in the world.
Okay.
Let's be real. The Asian market is the biggest when it comes to media
There was an artist
because of
that
their
went there
numbers.
recently
And that's the truth. The
and
moment
they
Asian people like your stuff, you blow because they will watch it, they'll give you the numbers.
Sure.
So why don't they take the Grammys and the Oscars and all to India? It's
Mary's
let's
very
not
vexed.
excuse
I think
this,
let's go
beg.
back
Let's not
to
excuse
talking
this.
about school fees. Please. Come on, girl. What else happened over the weekend apart from the Grammys? Anything else happened?
Oh, well.
Well, honestly, we went out, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a very interesting.
A member of staff,
Friday into
had a
Saturday.
send forth, and we all decided to, just show support, rally round, and it was actually not bad at all. It's been a while since I've done something like that, and it felt really fun.
Really, you look very, very at home at it. It's been a while, but you're like, yeah.
Wow.
Titi, don't buy Titi's while. Titi was also at the Max FM VIP party
I
on
know, right,
Thursday.
just on Thursday.
But it's a while.
It's a while,
been 2
exactly.
days a while.
It was only 20 hours. Oh, God. In any case, we had fun over the weekend. Well, hoping you guys as well did. And, well, we're starting your week in grand style. Thank you very much for joining. And you're welcome. It's time for the news to start a Monday edition for Wake Up Nigeria. Let's start with the President Bola Tinubu. He will be traveling to India to attend the G20 Leaders Summit. Now, this is coming on the special invitation of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. According to a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Juri Ndelele, President Tinubu will participate in and deliver keynote addresses at both the Nigeria-India Presidential Roundtable and the Nigeria-India Business Conference. The executive roundtable is expected to be attended by leading industrialists in the Indian private sector, Nigerian industrialists, as well as senior government officials from both countries. And in other news, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have intercepted various quantities of ephedrine, skunk, and also nitrous oxide, popularly known as laughing gas, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. The items were concealed in semovita packs and dry pepper being shipped to South Africa and Kenya by members of a suspected transitional drug trafficking organization, some of whom were arrested, their mansions raided, and luxury vehicles seized. In a statement by the agency spokesperson, Femi Babafemi, said operatives attached to the narco export shed of the airport also foiled attempts by another syndicate to export 10.4 kilograms of skunk concealed with scent leaves and pepper going to Kenya. The statement said NDLEA operations led to the arrest of suspects and seizure of different kilograms of illegal substances in Sokoto and Ibadan. And now outside Nigeria, authorities in Nevada are investigating a death at the site of the Burning Man Festival, where thousands of attendees remain stranded after flooding from storms swept through the Nevada desert in the United States. Attendees were told to find shelter in the Back Rock Desert and conserve food, water, and fuel, but some chose to hike to the nearest town. According to the U.S. Bureau of Land Management, which oversees the Black Rock Desert, vehicle gates will not be open for the remainder of the event, which began on the 27th of August and was scheduled to end on Monday, that's today. Officials have halted all traffic in and out of the festival, aside from emergency vehicles. And that's it for the news. And welcome once again to Wake Up Nigeria for a Monday.
Okay.
Welcome. Time for What's Up and About, ladies.
Absolutely. Okay, so what's up and about? We came across a post that of an incident that occurred over the weekend. People were talking about how some caterers don't give food at parties, and a photographer talked about how in his own case, it wasn't the caterer. It was the bride's younger sister who embarrassed him when he asked for food. He was working for them for about 3 days, starting from the bridal shower. And when he asked for food, she embarrassed him. So he simply ensured she was at the edge of every photo and cropped her out. So when the wedding album was ready, she was nowhere to be found. And so the lady got his number from her sister and calls and says, what happened, Oga? I did not show you any of the wedding photos. And Uncle said, I did not know you were part of the wedding.
Wow, I didn't know you were that important. Wow.
Wow. Ouch.
Wow.
Ouch.
First of all, I would like to say that he took... That was...
It was extreme.
That was extreme. He took those liberties based on what? Are you also that important as well? I mean, first off, if you got paid, I'm coming home. My wife's an event planner, and I know the kinds of arrangements that go on before. I know that these vendors, all vendors, get paid at least 60% of their monies before even.
Yeah.
If I pay you, and photographers are not cheap.
Nope.
They are
I mean,
not.
the last event she handled, the photographer got about 1.5 million.
Yeah.
Imagine.
If you get 60% upfront of 1.5 million, you're talking about close to $1 million.
Yeah.
And I invite you over for the D-Day or days. I'm expecting that you're taking care of everything. Your feeding, your stay, and all of that. It should not be my responsibility at that point. That lady perhaps was overwhelmed with everything else. And then you're now bothering me for food. Oga, I cannot handle this now. I have this and this and this to do. Please, you know. His side of the story was that he was embarrassed. Her side of the story was perhaps she was overwhelmed. We haven't heard her side. I take exception to the fact that he would take that liberty and crop a member of my family. If I was a bride, I would take offense and I would not pay him.
Sue him.
I could sue him or not pay him the
So you know,
the rest of
this
his
is
money.
where I say, well, as you both said already, or you said, that you've not heard both sides of the story. I'm not exactly siding with the photographer, but for him to have been that upset,
Is it food he came to
that
eat?
he came.
Tough.
Do you know how long it takes to edit these pictures most of the time? They will do Photoshop on the skin, cinch the waist of the bride, and deliberately crop out
Individuals.
that is a lot of dedication, and I feel like that is a lot of anger.
That's vitriol.
Whatever happened must have been a lot more than just not giving him food. I'm telling you, she probably did a bit more than not just giving.
There's one thing to attend to your profession like a professional.
Okay.
Because you are emotionally, hurt or something, does not mean that you're going to affect in some way or the other a person's grand day. That was absolutely wrong.
Sure.
And still, still on the case of photographers, I take exception to photographers who, when they deliver your pictures, they have this big watermark on there. Wound photography.
Don't even talk about the watermark.
whoa.
Let me first say my own
Photography.
about this.
Did I pay you to be advertising on my wedding album?
Mazino,
is all the conversation that
somebody
happened
pays
before
you
the
for
day.
an event. Now, have you seen the breakdown of a photographer's bill? There are very good photographers who are very considerate. They will charge you in such a way that they look at you that, okay, I know you, okay. Do you know there are some photographers that still charge less than 100,000 for wedding photos?
Yeah, they're trying to come
There
up.
are.
Well.
And they do it well.
Yeah.
No
that
jokes.
number. I need that number.
Listen, I'm driving at something.
Yeah.
For such a person, even if the person asks for 4 plates of food,
I will
you
give.
will not hesitate.
Of course, definitely.
But in a situation where you've given me your bill,
And it's
your
1 point
bill,
something million.
do you know there are some photographers that would, and camera guys that will tell you that they will not have the time to feed because they are busy. So don't worry about feeding me at events. They'll put it as part of their service charge.
Exactly.
Maybe he was one of them. Maybe he has a mentor that does that, but he didn't know the impact or the implication of what he has done. The bride's sister might have recommended a cheaper photographer.
And the bride
I'm
said, "I'll
trying to
go
really
with this
widen
guy."
this. Oh.
I get you. I
And
see what
then
you're
the
doing.
bride says, no, I prefer this photographer.
Mary.
And then she probably saw the breakdown, saw the cost for food he had put. They
are taken care of.
Meet
Oh.
me. When my sister is probably already...
down,
No,
sit down.
see, I'm not... My sister is already complaining.
Mary is
to
out
me.
today. Mary is
I'm-
not taking prisoners today.
No, but
Our
see,
first
no,
banter
I'm telling
now.
somewhere. My sister
God.
prepared for 500 guests. We already see like maybe 600 guests.
And you are
coming.
not a guest.
And you
You're
are
a
not a
vendor.
guest. I can see on the list that feeding has been paid for.
Exactly.
And you're not telling me that I'm stressing you. I did not give you
But
food.
guess what happened? Guess what happened?
What?
This is
In your case, yes.
hypothetical.
Okay.
This guy has probably been insulted by this lady to the extent that...
Why is
I'm
Titi on the side of
I'm
this
saying,
photographer?
Look, I've seen so many cases where you be like, photo, or he didn't even snap this thing well. He's probably been overworked, probably been in the sun, probably been dealing with mother-in-law, father-in-law taking shots all
that
over.
is his job.
No,
do you know
hear
the
you.
second set of
There
people
are
that suffered
sometimes
this?
Mary, calm down, I got you.
The insults
Let me say something.
that
Now,
these guys
decorators
collect.
don't get.
I'm coming.
These
less
guys
insult than
study.
Let me come from a
photographers. So
professional
imagine
angle.
breaking a part of
Yeah,
the
let's
decoration.
talk
Mary,
about
hold on.
that. He's still a human
I'm coming.
being.
Let me to
after
that.
all.
Let me jump
He's
on
still
that.
a
and say,
human being.
To
I'm
answer
not
that,
saying what he did was okay, but he's a
to
human
answer
being.
that from a professional standpoint, I used to do wedding emceeing. 4 years ago, I stopped. Why? Because I cannot handle it. If it's too hot, get out the kitchen. I'm no longer a wedding MC. I will do your weddings if you pay me the right amount, however. Now listen to this. For the right price, I will take the insult from your in-laws.
Yeah.
I will take the stress and overwhelming responsibility of coordinating the transitions of your wedding, which is not an easy feat for anybody.
Nope.
Because your mother-in-law wants something different from your mother.
Father,
I've been at a wedding before where I tried to retrieve the mic from a guest whom the groom did not want to speak, and he hit me in the chest in the presence of everybody. And that was the day I said,
Mazino,
no
how
more.
many times do you go for a wedding? Wedding, no. Forget all these corporate events that they treat you with respect. Many wedding MCs are treated like houseboys, like, well, go and announce this. So imagine you now go on the mic and you say, what kind of family is this?
Let's bring it back to that photographer.
Yes.
If you cannot take handle of it's a customer
Stop
care
doing
service.
wedding
You
this
cannot be a wedding photographer because
Titi,
you will take
Titi,
nonsense.
Look, let's be real.
Do you know that
Let's
there are
be
actually
real,
probably
Titi.
some brides
The
and grooms that will
reality
actually
is
tell the
this.
photographer, please,
The reality
cut out
is
this
this.
person. I don't want this person in my picture.
Food. When it comes to food, maybe because of the way I was raised, though, food is not something my mom sees as a big deal.
Yeah,
if you have
everybody
workers
gets some.
coming home,
That's
or you have
plan for
anything,
it.
you
plan for
it's not
the
even about
bouncers,
planning.
Hang
You
on
give
a
them
second,
for the
Titi.
security. You plan for the
Hang on a
drivers.
second.
So people even
Boss.
create
Hang
a
on.
driver's place
We are having
specially
a
for
wedding. I probably gave my sister instruction. I've put this man's feeding budget in his money. If he should ask you for food, tell him to go and get food. Now, the bride might have just said that casually. And then the bride sister does what? She takes it personal because she knows what they spent on the wedding. And so when Uncle comes and says food, she probably told him that, Shebati, someone for you, we've paid you for the food. Why are you coming for food? And then he feels embarrassed. I can understand if you are upset that somebody did not give you food, but what right have you got to edit the person out of the wedding photos?
Exactly.
How dare you? Do you know what wedding photos mean?
Exactly.
That's
It's
a
lifelong,
lifetime
exactly.
record. You
Exactly.
now edited, and you know what even upsets me the most? You had the temerity to come
Put
on
it on
social media.
Who is
to
this guy?
boast.
What is his name? Let's know so that
In
people
fact,
are wary of. What is his
There's
name?
even another one that made a
still
post.
What is his
that
name?
made a comment. One DMAX Studios talking about how he will edit every other person. He will
And-
now leave the person's photo like that.
And they put these things up
And
on
they put
social
this thing
media
up on
and
social media.
expect people to actually
The guy's name is
patronize them.
Toby
Calm
Oyelami
down.
Joel on Facebook, I believe.
Wow, Mary.
Like, how do you do stuff like it's upsetting?
Maybe we should invite him on. You know what,
We
Toby?
should
If you're out
probably.
there, we should invite you on the show.
Come and
so
tell
that
your
you
side
tell
of
your
the
side
story.
Please,
Maybe we'll
Toby,
get
if
the
you're
bride
listening
sister
to
too.
this, please come on the show. Let's have a Wake Up Nigeria jury.
In fact,
Let's have everybody here. We could even have the bride sister as well if we can reach her. We should investigate this and find out exactly what happened and how the family felt after what you did, and if you still feel that what you did was good
Was
for
right.
you or your market. Because I take offense on behalf of the family.
Yeah.
I think that was
feel like
absolutely
both of
wrong.
You know the bride.
I don't
No.
know.
There are ways you can go
That's
about
how
this. You
things
can get
sound.
somebody else to go and get you
Mary.
food or something, but crop the person out of wedding photos, lifetime
We
record.
should go to a break at this point.
I don't vex.
Somebody get Mary a glass of water.
I need it. Glass of juice, cold one, cold press.
If you want to share with us, do share with us. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. We'd like to know what you think about this audacious attempt by a photographer to ruin somebody's special day. We'll be back.
Hey.
Well, good morning and welcome. It's time for the dailies, and of course, we have them right here with me. I am not alone. We've got fiery and indeed fiery Mary Alimi with us.
Still
today.
very fiery.
And I'm hoping that you're not going to
Blowing
go off on
hot.
the papers again.
No,
It's
I'm
so
fine.
apt that you're wearing red today.
Oh, maybe that's why. I don't know.
Maybe you should
Good
watch what you
point.
wear.
Yes.
As you can see, I'm in cool blue, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's
very...
why you're cool today.
You're also...
Yeah.
Watch what you wear tomorrow.
Okay,
Watch what you're
okay,
wearing
be
today.
Very careful.
All right, we're doing the papers this morning. We'll be starting from the Daily Times newspaper. Perhaps this is what you're going to be picking up this morning. We'll let you know what you're going to find. We've got these headlines here. Big one. front and center. Palliatives distribution at Dama residents slam Fintry. Alleged fraud in rebranding foodstuff with his photograph inscriptions. Accuse him of vendetta. Opposition parties supporters totally starved. Mum's the word from state government. Well, I think we're going to come back to that. We're going to find that in other papers as well. Drama as lady accuses father of being behind her barrenness. You must release me and my womb today, says the lady, and that headline there. And still more, how Emefiele messed up Nigeria's economy, financial experts say. This will be one for someone or anyone out there who's very interested in the status, academic status of Nigeria. People will suffer many more years. It continues so. And analysts anticipate mixed sentiments as investors cherry-pick sound stock and rivers record over 240 fatalities in resurgence of violence. Flawed sweeps man away, body recovered in another community. And after decades, finally, Bajama gets district head. We're going to touch on most of these headlines as we visit some of the other dailies. So why don't you take what you have right there?
Okay, the next one or?
Yeah, the next one,
yeah,
please.
The next one. So I've got the Daily Trust newspaper, and the major headline here says 2022 flooding. Farmers decry exclusion from 1.5 billion naira relief materials. We identified beneficiaries through SEMAs, and that's coming from NEMA. And farmers need flood-resistant seeds. That's coming from experts. Still on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. I want to die a Muslim, ex-traditional worshipper, Yao Oshu says after embracing Islam. Nigeria mulls G20 membership as Tinubu attends summit in India. Father, 2 sons died, Anambra building collapse.
I wanted to touch on the G Summit and the president's visit there.
Summit,
it was invited, of course, and there are plenty of discussions that could go on inside of the G20. Nigeria is not part of the G20, however. The G20, whether it's to advantage, is yet to be seen. We're eyeing investors to come into Nigeria and invest in Nigeria, an economy that's been going down the past couple of months. It remains to be seen exactly what the advantages are currently. My limited knowledge of the G20, it's a power play thing. This is what we've got. This is who we know. It's a family affair. Let me put it so. So Nigeria just simply being invited. I'm very curious to see exactly what could come up. I'm very hopeful, however, but I really want to know exactly how
with
it's
the
going to
whole
benefit us.
drama with the BRICS BRICS last week.
Exactly.
I believe it's probably something Nigeria might want to
We need new
consider.
friends.
Yes, we need new friends.
We need new friends.
And so we'll just keep our fingers crossed and see how that goes regarding that. Well, should we just move on to the next newspaper?
Let's move on to the Guardian newspaper. Today, for the Guardian newspaper, big headline here. Hike in fees, fresh worry over dropouts out of school children. Now, do you want to talk about that already?
Before you go on,
yes, please.
I honestly was beginning to wonder why that wasn't a major headline, considering the fact that students had to resume school today.
Today, very well timed.
I was actually thinking it would be the major headline for like a week, because I know parents, just as you mentioned this morning, are trying to deal with the increment.
Yes.
You know, your bills are going higher, and your income is still like
same.
Can I get there?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I get
now,
there?
it's a worrying situation, especially when you look at the fact that from before we're worried about out-of-school students from tertiary institutions, but at this point, it's going to be visited on people or families with students in secondary and even perhaps primary schools, because it's touching everybody, to put it in local parlance, the economy.
Play group, 300 and something thousand.
Well, that's for you who wants
Play
to...
group.
Moving on, more headlines here for The Guardian. Cyber criminals exploit weak regulations to harvest data, defraud Nigerians. So I had an instance over the weekend where I was reached out to on WhatsApp about this marketer who works for, according to the person, Amazon, and how it will benefit me to actually be a research personnel. Sent me a couple of links to click on, YouTube links according to the person to click on, and then report back with screenshots on my phone. And then I asked, and I'm reaching out to everybody out here, and I'm warning people, these links have the ability to actually infiltrate information inside of your phone.
I believe they call it phishing.
Phishing, yes.
Yeah, phishing.
Gather information from your phone, and which could be used to scam you. or perhaps maybe even get into your details, your accounts and stuff like that, do not click on these links. They come at you with this was a foreign number, by the way. So sometimes you might be gullible to think that this is authentic, but please watch out. These things are on the rise now. Do not click on links that are sent to you, especially on WhatsApp or even on Instagram. Be wary of them. One click and that's it. Especially when there's a series of them, you're simply just opening gateways into your personal devices for them to just infiltrate every information that they can get. So please watch out. There's still more on The Guardian. I can't finish it, but I'll take this one.
I'm interested in that NLC.
NLC insists on strike despite government's overtures as new tax regime commences. Why so interested, Mary?
New tax regime. You know, Nigerians are overwhelmed. Unfortunately, the economy requires certain measures being taken by the government to also, you know, try to meet up with the demands.
So we need to pay taxes.
However, the NLC strike, I'm thinking, did the government think it would be possible to escape it? People have actually been wondering why NLC strike hadn't taken place prior. Because there are people who are going through a whole lot now who are barely managing to survive. And there's this thing about Nigerian strikes. They believe when you carry out a strike, something serious has happened and the government is going to be more proactive. I do not see how the government can do much better than they are doing right now, unless some kind of miracle or intervention comes to save us as a nation.
Where would that intervention come and in what form?
That's
it
the
would
thing.
be mostly financial.
It will probably even come from loans, which the country doesn't even need again. People were saying, oh, money has been saved from subsidy removal. But do they realize that even subsidy removal was being aided by loans?
Exactly.
So it's more or less like we're saving on the loans we're taking.
So it's an Ouroboros. So we
It's like a circle.
do need the taxes. And
Unfortunately, you have to go back to the Obasanjo regime, for example. So many things were hiked so we can pay off our debts.
I believe that what the NLC should fight for is accountability.
Exactly. Like there are other things that we need to fight for.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many things actually, like subsidy in some other areas and all.
I think we should save it for another conversation, perhaps here this morning. Maybe you're also welcome if you use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We'll get your input.
Not maybe, you are welcome.
You are welcome, absolutely. Tell you what we're going to do now. Let's move over to the kitchen and find out what the ladies are about to do. TT, please let us know. What are we having for breakfast this morning?
We're having something incredibly interesting, but even more interesting is Chef Adekweju Ruth. Now, she's joining us in the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen this Monday morning. She has something special to prepare for us.
Yes,
Welcome.
thank you.
All right, so what is it you call this particular dish?
We call it village suya rice.
Village suya rice.
Yes.
Okay, so there is a trend of village rice recipes coming about now because I feel like it's a one-pot kind of dish and it seems very simple to prepare. Those are the ingredients on the screen there. Of course, we have the rice, tomatoes, pepper, onions, suya spice, palm oil, vegetable oil, seasoning, crayfish, assorted meat, and prawns. Interesting. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so this is a leaf, a special leaf,
Yeah,
right?
this is a banana leaf.
Banana leaf.
Yeah, and this is what we use in serving the rice.
Okay, so you're going to serve
The
this
rice.
meal directly on
Really,
top of this leaf.
banana leaf, yes.
Interesting. All right, let's talk about the ingredients and what's already happened to the
Okay,
ingredients
we
so
have
far.
our crayfish, blended crayfish.
You blended it yourself?
Yes, of course, definitely.
Okay.
We have our suya.
So this is suya from our guys, you know, down.
No. This is suya made by me.
Ooh.
Yeah, this suya made by me, yes.
Nice.
Then we have our little local beans.
Locust
We have
beans,
it.
yeah?
Yeah,
Go
and we
ahead.
have our suya spice. We have our seasoning powder. And we have our tomatoes. Then we also have our blended tomatoes. We use this for the sauce because the rice comes with sauce. So we're using sauce.
Is this only tomato, though?
Yes.
Only tomato, no pepper inside?
No, there's pepper, but don't little.
Okay.
Not
like
much
what
because
type
we have
of
our the pepper we have is the blended.
Is it like tatache or?
No, blended dried pepper.
Okay. Blended dry.
pepper, just because of the spice.
Okay.
Yes, so we have our blended pepper and tomato for our sauce. Then we have our onions, we have our shrimps.
All right, so this is the dried version of the shrimp. Did you
Yes, the dried.
rehydrate it? Did you boil it or?
No,
anything?
I just soaked it.
Soaked it.
It's overnight, so it could get soft a bit.
Fantastic.
That's why.
All
Then
right.
we have our vegetable oil, and we also have our palm oil, village oil.
So yes, so I was noting that one of the key differences between village rice and jollof is the palm oil. One of the key differences.
Yes, because of the palm oil. The taste
Okay.
of the palm oil is different from the vegetable oil.
Of course.
Yes.
Now, so what's the first thing we need to do? Because I know we
Now-
have some washed rice here
Yes. Now-
and some eggs also to boil.
Yeah, can I have this?
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, just put a little bit of vegetable oil in it.
Okay, so directly into the rice.
Into the rice.
Wow, okay.
Then we stir it together.
Oil straight into the rice. Fabulous. Okay, so that's about half a cup of oil there. About half a cup of oil
Yeah.
going in.
Then we also have our palm oil that comes in with it.
Straight in, directly,
Yes.
before we even start boiling the rice?
Yes, of
wow.
course.
Ooh. Okay, I'm learning. I'm learning today. I'm learning. Oh. Okay, okay. Because I have noted that even my husband is taking an interest in this village rice.
Village rice.
So I was wondering whether it was the person selling it to him that was the issue. But I think I need to start, exploring this village rice thing.
So we're using the palm oil to make sure the rice gets into that oil properly.
Okay, all right, fantastic. So the two oils go straight
Go
in.
straight in, yes. Then we have our onions.
The onions,
Yes,
they're going
comes in with
next.
the onions, yes.
All right. So they call this village rice.
Yes.
But what aspect of it is truly makes it village
I
rice,
think-
in your opinion?
Yeah, it's the palm oil for real.
Oh,
The palm oil gives it this taste. There is no way. And especially the local beans too.
okay.
Give
okay.
it that taste. Yes.
Okay, all right. So we're working on getting the oils mixed into that pre-washed rice with the onions, and then we are gonna set to work. Hopefully you're trying this at home as well. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC and let us know exactly how you're doing. Send us a video and let us see your version of this happy suya village rice. Of course, if you have these lying around your kitchen, you might want to try this out yourself. Rice, tomatoes, pepper, onions, suya spice, of course, palm oil, vegetable oil, seasoning, crayfish, meat, and prawns. Fantastic. So if you have this at home, or maybe you have some leftover suya from last weekend in the fridge, you're wondering, what can I do with this suya? What can I do with all these ingredients? This might be something you want to try.
Right.
Chef Adekweju, before we went to a quick sports session there with Mary and Olamide, we put in the vegetable oil and the palm oil,
Palm oil,
into the
yeah.
pre-washed
Rice with our onions.
with the onions.
Yeah.
So what happens now?
Now we're adding the whole thing. First of all, we'll add the prawns.
Prawns.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what's going to happen.
So these prawns were rehydrated.
Yes, of course.
Should I put the heat on for you now? Should I put
Yeah, you can do that
Let
right
me
now.
put the heat on for you now so that we can begin the process perfectly. Aha, so these prawns were rehydrated overnight,
Night, yes.
soaked in water.
Of course.
Because I actually wonder about that sometimes,
That's the best way to eat your prawns.
Mm.
Soak it overnight.
Okay,
That's the best way.
so
yes,
boiling
yes,
it down is not enough.
No, soak with normal cool warm water.
Okay.
That's just the best
All right,
way.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So the prawns are in now.
Yeah, now we
What's
have
next?
our suya.
Okay, the actual suya. You said you made this yourself.
Yes, overnight at the same time.
Beef suya.
Yeah, beef suya. And we have shaki. We have,
Oh.
look at it, we have shaki. We have gizzard.
Gizzard,
Little
shaki.
ginseng, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead with that now at this point.
Yeah. We're adding our crayfish now.
Oh, crayfish.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Blended crayfish,
Our little salt.
a little bit.
Not
of
much of it.
Okay.
Put our local beans.
All right. Locust beans. Did you do anything to the locust beans at all?
No, I just washed it.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
Then we have our suya spice.
So, they call it yaji. Some people call it yaji.
Yeah, I call it suya spice. There's difference between yaji and there's difference between suya spice. A lot of people don't know that.
Okay.
Two different.
All right, no problem.
Yeah.
But is there ginger in this?
Yeah, of course.
There's
There's ginger, there's garlic.
Okay.
Yeah, dried ginger, dried garlic.
And dried pepper?
Yeah.
Is there any salt in there?
No, not at all.
No salt.
At all, no salt.
Fantastic.
Then we have our seasoning.
So is this like a normal stock cube seasoning?
Yes, normal one.
Okay, all right, fantastic. So there's no chicken or crayfish
No,
flavor or anything like that?
not at all.
Okay, usual stock cubes.
Now
going
we're adding
in.
our original suya.
So now the suya goes in.
Goes in, yes.
All right. So if I was going to add any other ingredients right now,
Yeah.
like protein type of ingredients.
Okay, but fish is better.
Fish?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Fish is
What
better.
type of fish? Like ejakika, like
You know,
round fish?
like
or-
croaker fish.
Interesting.
Croaker fish is or barracuda. Barracuda
But would I
fish.
pre-fry that or
Yeah,
what
you
would I-
pre-fry.
Okay.
And when the suya is ready, almost ready,
Yeah.
just put in your fish in it,
on top?
on top of it.
Fantastic. All right. So
We
now,
have our tomato.
Tomatoes
But like
going in
tomato,
now?
just tomato.
is it going in now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
True.
Everything straight in the dish.
Yes.
Straight in. All the spices, all the ingredients
So then we turn.
going straight in there now. And we ton. How much water are we going to add to this? Probably about a cup?
Yeah, no, 2 cups.
2 cups of water
yeah.
will be going in.
Because we didn't parboil the rice.
Fantastic. Beautiful. 2 cups of water will go in there and we'll put that on the heat. And by the time you see this meal next, happy Suya Village rice will be almost set. I know you can't wait because I can't wait either. The amazing aromas here are gingering me. Let's take this quick break. There's still so much more coming your way. Let's wake up now.
Good morning once again. Make each day a memorable one. You can only do so if you savor every hour, enjoy every minute, and also make each second count.
Yeah.
It mostly comes down to the company that you keep, and we're glad that you guys keep keeping it with us. Thank you very much.
Second hour is upon us. The next
Yes,
step
indeed.
to setting you off on your Monday activities the right way. Make sure you get comfortable. Have a nice warm beverage or something as you get the kids ready for school. Oh, I think they should be in school by
Well,
now.
not
should be in school by
not
now.
every household has kids going to school today. Personally, I'm not advising this, but personally, I like to take that first 1 week and leave the kid at home.
Really?
Yes. Join in the preparation. Make sure that she's also part of the,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I just.
But you need to
want
sort
her-
of recalibrate their brains at this point
Recalibration,
because
exactly.
they've been waking up late, going to bed late, you know, that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
so prepare
you need
them
to-
to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It takes a while, but hey, you've decided to stay right with us on this dial. You've made the right choice. We have a really specially curated package for you for this second hour.
Yes,
This
indeed.
is Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, we've got this kitchen segment going on. You were in there.
Yeah.
We're having what now?
Happy Village Suya Rice.
Happy Village.
Mary is helping
Mary,
support.
how's our Happy Village suya rice?
Happy Village Suya Rice.
Yes,
when
sir.
you see this, you already know village is there. Because there's something about rice served in leaves. There's
Oh,
this
yes.
taste they have. You can almost taste the leaves. I don't know if it's just me, but it's always been the case. Whenever I eat something in leaves, I can almost taste the leaves. There's this fresh, leafy taste that you get when you eat from the leaves. And then I'm very curious as to the process so far, but I'm pretty sure the end result will be as awesome as this looks. This looks really amazing. Just take a look at this. So it's currently boiling. I guess the suya has gone in. The suya has gone in, right?
Yes. That's
Okay,
right.
so it's going to cook with it.
together
Well, I
with
thought
the
the
rice.
suya was going to be used
No,
towards the
no,
end.
it's
So
because
it's going to
of
cook
rice,
so as to
because of
give the
rice.
flavor as well.
Of course.
Okay, so you guys should just keep your fingers crossed. At the end of the show, you'd get the end result, and our guests will definitely give us feedback.
Yeah, well.
You know what's interesting?
Now what?
She made the suya herself.
Oh, yeah. I
Sliced it,
heard that.
spiced it, and made the suya herself. So this
Sliced
wasn't
it.
off the street suya. This is actual homemade suya. So it's
That's
really
good.
interesting.
Well, I anticipate what it tastes like. I have no doubts it's going to be great. My name is Mazino Appeal, and we are eager to let you guys know what we have happening this hour. What's your name?
My name is Titilayo Oyinso, and Wake Up Nigeria Monday edition is coming your way right here. Sit back and take it all in.
Stream the show live. We are at tvcentertainment.tv. You also want to carry us with you. Download the app on your phones. You can do that by simply going to your Google Play Store or on Apple iOS. You're seeing us live on channel 16 for GOTV or UHF Band 49. Thank you very much for following us across all the social media handles at TVC Connect.
So it's really great because you're right there when we begin the second hour. We've taken a dive already into our sports segment earlier on, and it's about time for us to take a musical performance. We have singer-songwriter Tino Moody joining us a little later on. That should be a riveting performance. You need to stay close for that one.
Joining us for a motivation segment, Aize Hiitwa. He's a seasoned brand and marketing professional with a proven track record in launching and rebranding prominent brands globally. He's the founder of Imone Creative Agency. He has accumulated extensive experience in the creative marketing and manufacturing space. Today, he joins us to talk about building a strong personal brand for career success.
And on SME today, Usman Daniel Paul. Mr. Excel is the CEO, Genius Excel Manufacturing and Services Limited. It's a paint manufacturing company when it comes to POP, installation, floors, ceilings, concrete, everything to do with making your house look amazing. He's into it. Can't wait to see exactly what he has in store.
Welcome back. So it was exciting news for some people to find out that Shay Awolowo was evicted yesterday from Big Brother house.
Yeah.
Were you, what was your...
I saw so many memes. What, did they still call them memes? Yeah. I don't know. You know, it's 2023.
Memes, of course.
But the thing is, it felt like a lot of people were very pleased about the fact that he was leaving. And he said, sayonara.
Out of a ditch.
You know, there's a term from a
See
movie,
you later.
sayonara.
We know it, you don't have to stress it.
On the way out. And a lot of, especially female responses was like, yeah, it was time for him to leave. Yeah.
Well, as a gentleman of the Black Table, I expect to see him on the Black Table again, where we expect to ask him a few questions regarding maybe certain utterances that he had said from a couple of weeks back that caused that uproar, exact. Thank you very much for borrowing that word. But you're rather silent, and I don't know, I am anticipating what you have to say, because from the start of the show, you've been very fiery hot.
I'm trying not to be fiery anymore. I'm trying to be calm, cool blue.
It'll never happen, but go ahead.
He has some questions to answer.
He does, doesn't he?
There are certain things that will not be excused. And the truth is, it's going to affect his brand. Because certain companies will not attach themselves to him because of certain utterances of his.
Yeah.
So he should prepare his mind for that. There are consequences for every action you take, and that's the reality. Unless he has other plans, which I suspect he has. I think he wanted to go there to trend so as to get people knowing him, you know. Like, yes, people know who Seyi Awolowo is, but now more people know about his existence. So I believe that's probably what he went to do. He went to push his brand and the visibility, so to speak.
There's a compare and contrast between the last time he was in the house and now. The last time he was in the house, he was the one that won. There was a special package he won where he was even supposed to go abroad and represent the country. So him going in and coming out this soon and not coming out with any of those accolades as he did before, I don't know.
But you know how these things work when it comes to the reality shows. We've had other instances where housemates or individuals who participated in reality shows have said and done things, very active, some will say immoral things, and yet came out to be ambassadors for girl children. You know specifically who I'm referring to. So you never can tell how it goes.
Well, you never can tell. You might come out remorseful. The thing is, when you're within the four walls, you believe that somebody else has a camera on them until you come out and realize that,
it was on you all.
It was on you while you were saying that. Yeah. So perhaps it's it will be remorseful. It will probably give excuses or explanations, so to speak, as to why he said that.
Might be tenable.
And the Nigerians, the media in general, very fickle. Next week, people will move on.
I wish we could go on, but I'm being directed by the minions that we have to take weather now. And much more inside this hour for Wake Up Nigeria. Thank you for staying. You're welcome. It's time for the new second hour here on Wake Up Nigeria. Let's start with President Bola Tinubu, who will be traveling to India to attend the G20 Leaders Summit. Now, this is coming on the special invitation of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. According to a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Aguji Ngalale, President Tinubu will participate in and deliver keynote addresses at both the Nigeria-India Presidential Roundtable and the Nigeria-India Business Conference. The executive roundtable is expected to be attended by leading industrialists in the Indian private sector, Nigerian industrialists, as well as senior government officials from both countries. Now, in other news, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have intercepted various quantities of ephedrine, skunk, and nitrous oxide popularly known as laughing gas, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. The items were concealed in Semovita packs and dry pepper being shipped to South Africa and Kenya by members of a suspected transnational drug trafficking organization, some of whom were arrested, their mansions raided, and luxury vehicles seized. In a statement by the agency's spokesman, Femi Babafemi, said operatives attached to the narco export shed of the airport also foiled attempts by another syndicate to export 10.4 kilograms of skunk concealed with scent leaves and pepper going to Kenya. The statement said NDLE operations led to the arrest of suspects and seizure of different kilograms of illegal substances in Sokoto and Ibadan. Now, outside Nigeria, authorities in Nevada are investigating a death at the site of the Burning Man Festival, where thousands of attendees remain stranded after floodings from storms swept through the Nevada desert in the United States. Attendees were told to find shelter in the Black Rock Desert and conserve food, water, and fuel, but some chose to hike to the nearest town. According to the U.S. Bureau of Land Management, which oversees the Black Rock Desert, vehicle gates will not open for the remainder of the event, which began on the 27th of August and was scheduled to end today. Officials have halted all traffic in and out of the festival, aside from emergency vehicles. And that's all for news and for the second hour here, Wake Up Nigeria. It continues. We've got more inside this hour. Stay tuned.
What we need next is some motivation. Yes, indeed. Okay, Izehi Itwa is in the building. He is a seasoned brand and marketing professional. He's got a proven track record, and when it comes to launching and rebranding prominent brands globally, he is one of the people to speak to. He's the founder of iMoney Creative Agency and has accumulated extensive experience in the creative, marketing, and manufacturing space. Today, we're here to talk about building a strong personal brand for career success. It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much, Titi.
All right.
Lovely to be here.
Izehi Itwa, right?
Yeah.
I got the pronunciation right.
A plus.
Fantastic.
That's weird, though.
Really?
Yeah. You know, I get a lot of people who pronounce it weirdly, but then you did well.
The reason why I pronounce the name again is because some have sort of created brand names that are maybe simpler to pronounce.
Clearly.
Right?
Clearly.
More easy to remember. Right?
Yeah.
But you've established your name as your brand.
Yes.
So let's talk about building personal brands. Where do we start from?
Understanding what it means, first off. Ideally, personal brand is just basically managing the meaning of you.
Okay.
So what does it mean to be you? What does it mean to be Titi? Right? And it comes from within. First off, understanding your core, understanding where you want to be in terms of vision, understanding who you are and who you are not.
Okay.
Right? And then structuring yourself well enough to define the meaning and perception of you. And it's advisable that you're very, very intentional about it, because whether you are intentional or not, there is a certain perception about you.
Okay. I want to jump a little further back to something you said, who you are and who you are not.
Yes.
I found that very key. So you're maybe an adult male of a certain age, maybe between the age of 25 to 45, right? That is one of the things you are. But who you are not is what? How do you define who you are not?
Clearly. It's as basic as one being accused of something they have not done.
Okay.
Or called who they're not. If you are called, something that obviously you're not, you stand, you're kind of defensive. So understanding your personal brand would help you even gravitate towards the right thing, the right culture, the right people, the right companies, right? And associate with the right, kind of brands. So knowing who you are not then lets you know who you shouldn't work with.
Okay.
Right. A clear example was something that recently happened with the NBA, and having an artist come on board.
Yeah.
So the clear distinction.
So who the NBA is and who they are not.
Clearly, who they're not. So the clear distinction would actually, define and attract whoever, should be with them or associate with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is not to say I have to jump back to the NBA issue again. This is not to
no.
say that,
Okay.
that the artist in question doesn't have a personal brand of his own. He does.
He does. He does. And then he ought to have attracted the kind of brand, that would best fit, that kind of scenario. So most of the negative sentiment that we got was because there was a disruption or certain discrepancy between the personal brand and the brand in question.
All right. So now let's talk about the average person who probably is just hearing for the first time that, you have to build a brand identity. Where do they start from? What are the first key steps to building a personal brand?
Clearly, so I tend to use a framework called SoStack. It's basic with marketing, basically. And why I believe in SoStack is because I believe everything happens on a scale, right? From personal, and then it expands into global, right? So first off is understanding, is first having a situation analysis. Self-awareness is the first bit. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses, right? What are my values? Where do I want to be, right, in the nearest future? So I say I want to be a marketing professional. Clearly, I want to be one of the biggest marketing professionals in the nearest future. What qualities do I currently have? What skills do I currently have, to position me? What do I need? Who are the current thought leaders in this space?
Okay.
Monitor your environment. What community can I be part of to evolve? So having done that, you then need to position yourself through thought leadership. And one way I do that is express my skill. Amplification and documentation are key aspects I tend to use.
Documentation?
Yes.
Meaning that everything you just said before needs to be written down.
First off.
Okay.
If it's so important, you would write it down.
So you write it down,
Yes.
you write it down, you write down your vision.
Yes.
You write down, what else are we
Your
writing?
skills, your values.
Your values.
Do I want to work with excellence or integrity,
Okay.
and all of that. Write them down.
And then the thought leaders in that space.
Yes.
So, in other words, competition.
In a way, they're not your primary competitors because, you might need mentors, people that would coach you, along the way. I tend to thrive around thought leadership by association. So those that are bigger, I tend to associate my brand with them because it's, if you sit around billionaires, you're the next billionaire, So,
Amen to that.
right? So it's a conversation of using their brand resonance to also expose yourself to their community and more people, and showcasing your skills to them as well.
So, there was actually a part of our introduction that says for career success.
Really?
So you use the term career, you didn't say business.
Yes.
So before now, it could have been just business owners we were speaking to.
Definitely,
Right now.
definitely.
But you're working for a company that already has their own brand identity. You're working for maybe a corporate entity that is in telecommunications.
Yes.
Or maybe in the medical field.
Yes.
But then you also have your own personal brand.
Yes.
How do you make sure that they don't clash?
Clash. Wonderful. First off, like I said, it's in understanding who you are and understanding who the company, the identity of the company. One thing you want to do is clearly also understand the communication policy of that company, right? So you don't then go against their values. I would also recommend for young career professionals to be with companies that are aligned with who they are, right? And how they can contribute to that culture.
Well, that's where
and
they
values.
saw a job now.
Right? So I tend to tell my mentees that when you have a very high personal brand equity, you go into a company as an asset.
Okay.
Right? Because the company can then utilize your brand resonance to,
Boost themselves.
boost themselves.
Okay.
Because networking is key, and that's one thing you need in whatever role you are. And leading with influence, when you're very particular about your personal brand, you become a thought leader in your space. And every business needs that.
Okay, so, a lot of people go into, when they are job hunting, they are going cap in hand. And when I say cap in hand, I mean they're like, well, any job, just employ me.
Yes.
But you're saying they need to start acting as assets to this company.
Yes.
It takes a while before you build that kind of confidence. But what are the steps that need to be completed in your personal branding before you can see yourself as an asset?
Great. So, like I said, I think for emphasis, we're going to repeat.
Okay.
Self-awareness, know who you are.
Okay.
Position yourself. Now we're in the digital space, so position yourself digitally. For a career person, yes, social media. Okay. And try to be consistent across board. Okay. Right? Be authentic. And for you to understand who you are, then you can be authentic. Try to grow a following as much as possible, even if it's one person. It doesn't have to be by the number, but be consistent across board, and definitely you would deliver.
I have to say, Mr. Itwa, you have hit the nail on the head for quite a few people watching this morning.
Thank you
I
very
can't
much.
wait to see your comments and contributions. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC, and let's hear what you think about this direction of your personal branding journey. We can't wait to have you back sometime soon.
Always here. Thank you very much, Titi, for having me.
All right, you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, then, there's still quite a bit coming your way. Stay close. This is Wake Up Nigeria.
And you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's time for our SME segment, normally the last segment on every Monday. And today we have Usman Daniel Paul. Now, he is here with us as the CEO of Genius Excel Manufacturing and also Services Limited for our SME segment here. He's a paint manufacturing and also installation for floors and ceilings and concrete stamping and all of the metallic works company. And today we're going to be taking sample from his experience in that endeavor. You are welcome. Good to have you here. So that industry, what is it called? It's still part of constructions or what exactly? Building constructions?
Yeah, it's part of building construction.
Building constructions.
Yeah.
So you do your own paint, your own thing,
Yes.
which also involves painting of buildings and installing of what they call them now.
POP. Plaster
POP.
of Paris, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, you are self-reliant. You are your own business. You've got people who work for you.
Yes.
So the purpose of this segment is to get people to learn from your experience and also perhaps maybe get started themselves. So we want to know exactly when you got started, what the challenges were, how far you've come.
Well, the journey into who I am today is quite historic and fun too. It all started way back actually I started paint generally in 2001.
Okay.
That was after my secondary school, all thanks to my boss, Mr. Jonah Anoria. We're just playing like children in the morning, and then he just woke up one morning. I was like, Dan, instead of you sitting here and playing this table tennis all day, why don't you follow me to shop? So jokingly, I just followed him. And when I got to the shop and saw the kind of chemicals there, I like, what can I do with this? But with time, I started picking interest. Being somebody that's so much, I'm in love with colors. That is one thing. I love colors so much.
Yeah.
So being somebody, I discovered that through this, I can still bring out, colors and all that. So I started working with him. After some time, he took me to somebody else who was actually a paint producer.
Oh, okay.
Yes. He was into sales of chemicals. And he's still into sales of chemicals. And then I met this man, Mr. Samuel Amanchuku, Best Shine Paints. Yeah. I started working with him, so I gathered some experience from there, and then went back to my boss again, Jonah, to learn how to produce fully. But I really was not
you
using...
produce as well?
Yes, I produce. I have a brand.
Oh,
I have a brand.
that's
I
fantastic.
have a bucket, a paint. And
That's Excel. That's called
Genius
Mr.
Deco Paints.
Genius Deco Paint.
Yes.
Oh,
So
wow.
After that, I was not really doing it because I felt like, the normal stereotype of Nigerian youths, once you go to school, you would become maybe an office worker and all that. So I wasn't really interested in doing that. But fast forward to 2012, after my university, I was supposed to go for my NYSC, and then I was posted to Osun State. So in Osun State, that was where the whole story about this paint journey
really started.
Yeah, because on camp, we were, they started announcing to us because we were the first badge of skill acquisition and entrepreneurial development, SAID, back then, which was headed by my first time mom, late Mrs. Oludolapo Ahile then. So they were announcing one evening after our parade and all this that they are starting a skill acquisition tomorrow. So I was talking to a friend. So I was like, after going to university
I'm still coming back here
learn, to study and do all that, what will I be doing with learning bricks and all these things when I already have some skills upstairs? So not knowing that my platoon leader then, Mr. Adediran, was behind me. And then, because I was this popular person on my camp then, so the man was behind me. I was like, Usman, what did you say? I said, I have some skills already, so I don't see any reason why I must still learn how to, do anything here. Most of the things you are talking about, I do them. You say, what do you do? I said, okay, I know how to produce paint. I know how to install POP. Then there was nothing like this epoxy 3D then, so I have not learned that already. So he said, you can produce paint? I said, yes. You know how to produce? I said, yes. He said, okay. That was how I think that evening around 8 p.m., I heard my name over the OPS speaker that I should report at the state coordinator's office, then Mrs. Eboagu in Osun State here, that I should report at her office by 9 a.m. the following day. So my friends were like, what did you do again? You know,
Again.
Somebody that is always here and there.
How did that translate now? So you reported there in the morning?
I reported there the following day, and then I met my foster mom of blessed memory now, Mrs. Ahile. So when I met her there, it was like, are you done? I said, yes, ma'am. I said, you said you know how to produce paint. I said, yes. So can you teach how to produce paint? So I was like, yes, ma'am, I can do it. She said, are you sure? I said, yes. That was how, instead of me being, you know, one of the students that was supposed
became the instructor.
I became an instructor from there.
Wow.
So that was how the journey started.
That's a fantastic journey. Well, it took you almost 10 years to realize that I had
to go back
to what you learned from 10 years ago.
Before. And that was when I got that orientation that, okay, it's not all about, you know, just going to school and you know, searching for job and all that.
It's about your hands.
But after that, I still made the same mistake again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because after service, you know, all the alawi we gathered and everything, I was all around the town looking for job and all that. The same Mrs. Ahile again called me. I said, Dan, what are you doing now? I said, Mommy, I'm at home. I'm looking for a job. He said, no. Go to Abuja. Go and meet my husband. He was the then director of corporate welfare, my daddy today, Mr. Michael Ahile. So I went to meet him. And then when he saw me and everything I was doing, I know, as at then, I was like hoping, okay, Daddy was going to give me a job as an NYC official, so I was going to get a job from him and all that.
But no, that wasn't what happened.
He was like, Dan, you are not built for this white-collar job.
No.
Just face your job and do it. And I'm telling you, you'll do great in there.
And how did that fare today?
That was how, he was the one that gave me money to register my company.
Nice.
Yes. And
That's
that name, Genius,
story.
That name, Genius, there was actually, I'm saying it for the first time today. That name, Genius, was actually for him.
Wow.
Because of something he did back then. And the Excel is my own name. Then the services is just what we do and all that.
That's a brilliant, that's a very fantastic story. But it took you 10 years, some mistakes here. How long will it take somebody who's out there and thinking that I also want to be a manufacturer just like you? How can anybody get started? Will it take them that long?
It doesn't take that long. Mine was just, I was dabbling in between.
Here and there.
Going in and coming out, you know. I was still fighting myself inside with like, okay, what do I do? Where do I start from? I need to work. I need to make money. I need to do this and that. And that was it. But when I finally settled down for what I'm doing today, I realized that, yes, a tree cannot grow under another tree. So if you really want to be anybody, you need to stand on your own.
Yeah.
There are challenges along the way, a lot of challenges, but at least today.
So if I was to get started today, how long will it take me to actually, you know, start putting out product just like you?
It depends on...
Do I need an investor, for instance, and how much do I need to get started?
You need an investor, and it depends on how fast you can catch up. The problem basically is not on the production aspect per se, but more on the color combination.
Oh, so that takes talent, doesn't it?
The color combination takes a lot of talents and effort, because there are some times, probably maybe a client will tell you, okay, I want this shade of orange, like this one now, and then you give him or her another shade. By the time he comes back and look at it, like, this is not what I want, you have to go back again.
So that takes experience. Yes. Is it experience or talent now? So there are two different things.
It has to do with experience.
Experience.
But the color combination has to do with your talent.
Talent.
How you can bring out something beautiful from a job and all that.
Wow. Okay, now I'm very interested in the investor part. I'm very interested because there are people out there who want to, I mean, you know what Nigeria is like. Everybody's looking for something else to do or something extra to do. So if I was to go into this kind of business, to get started, like, give me an idea of what it might take me, apart from training. What about what do I need to invest in exactly? That's it.
Here, aside the training, the tools and the machines are basically what you need. But you know, you can do it's in 3 stages now. Like I do all the 3. You have the manual type of production. These ones I do on sites. If I go to work on sites where I'm not supposed, maybe I go outside the states, because I go everywhere in Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
Anywhere at all in Nigeria. So you can just take your manual machines from your factory. Those ones you can invest in them. If that is the lowest stage you can start from. Then you have the medium scale, which you can get your locally manufactured machines in Nigeria, which are also expensive, a little too. Then you get to the large scale where you can also get the big machines.
But you advise that people start with the manual.
From the manual. When I started, I didn't even have even the smallest of all machines I don't have. I was using iron, and I can carry that iron from Abuja to Anambra to work, as long and as heavy as it is.
Wow.
I can carry it from Abuja to Anambra.
So how many people have you empowered? Like all the people that empowered you now. How many people have you empowered?
Where do I start from? I've lost count.
You've lost count. That's good.
Count.
That's all we need to hear.
I lost count. The reason is because when I started training people, I trained them from NYSC. And for the next 3 or 4 years after my graduation, I was still going to Osun State to train corps members in every badge and also other states to train. So
I mean, you are a typical sure example of someone people should take example from. I mean, it's fantastic what you've been able to do with your craft, and that you've also empowered people. And I especially love the story that you told about how you came into this kind of business. And for Genius Excel Paints, or is Genius Paints?
Genius Excel Manufacturing and Services.
Manufacturing Services. Fantastic.
Then the paint is Genius Deco Paints.
Genius Deco Paints. Congratulations on what you do. We expect to see and hear more from your establishment and also empowering more people. I need your number because the people you know, I want to know them as well. Maybe they can also, you know. But thank you very much, Usman. It's grand that you're here. But tell you what, just to show you how much we appreciate things you've done and for other people as well, I want to bring you over to the kitchen because we've been cooking something very nice. You can smell it already.
Whoa.
Yes, it's for you.
Whoa.
Let's bring you over now. And he'll tell you what it tastes like when we get back.
Wow.
Come on. Usman, you're welcome. The ladies have been busy since because, I mean, hey, our last guest is always a special guest. So,
Chef Adekweju Ruth in the kitchen.
Yeah.
She's made happy suya village rice.
Wow.
So that happy, I'm sure you were happy when you sat down.
It was when Mide told me I was the last guest on the show, I was like, I knew something was going to come out of it. So,
Wow.
She said something was going to come out.
I know something was coming out. So
All right.
I'm happy to, you know.
What's it? Is everything okay?
So we're actually, the aroma is affecting everybody here. We need you to taste it. Tell the world what it tastes like, please. Go ahead. Please go ahead.
this is going to be good because I can already see.
Yes, so please
Sauce, I always
go ahead. Go ahead, please. Go ahead right now, please.
Tell us
Go
already.
ahead.
Yeah, we can't wait. Suspicion is killing us.
All right.
It's hot.
So what do you think? What do you think?
I want to say something.
Okay.
I watched the show.
Okay.
This guy was here in the studio. Then really.
Oh, okay. That's a while ago.
Yeah. And he ate. They gave him food.
Okay.
You know what he said?
What did he say?
He said, "Awaka well."
That's
You really waka well.
Chef
But
Adekweju
this is
Ruth.
excellent.
Fantastic.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
very
much.
Thank
We're
you
glad
very
to
much,
know
man.
that.
Thank you.
Usman, thank you very much.
A
Ladies,
fabulous way
Thank you.
Thank you so
to
very
start
much.
our Monday.
Yes, indeed. We're going to catch you guys again tomorrow for tomorrow's show, Tuesday edition at 7 a.m.
Wow.
Thank you for joining us for today. Make sure you stay with us all through the end of the week.
Yay.
Until we see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.